Hello, Zainey friends. I'm Laney.
And I am Marshall.
And I have a tag for you today, and I barely ever do tags, but this one seemed really fun and actually fit into the realm of our channel. So this is the makeup mess tag, and I got this tag from my friend Layla and also my friend Kara. I will link both of their videos down below, and the originator of this tag is Spooky Lips Fat Hips, and I will have her video down below also, so you can check all of them out. So basically there are all the questions below. I invite you all to join in and comment below with your video link when you're done so that we can check out your video as well. But if you haven't done this tag yet and you're a beauty person, you're gonna want to do it because it's pretty fun. Marshall is going to comment, kind of.
Kind of. Actually, I'm looking through a little bit more closely, and there's a few of these questions that I can answer, but not as makeup. I can actually answer them as like art supplies, so at least I'm talking. Hi.
That'll be great. Let's do it as art supplies and makeup. So
okay.
I'm the makeup and he is the art. So the first question is, how often do you wash your makeup brushes and sponges? So when I do my makeup, I use a bottle of alcohol that I spray onto my brushes after I use them, and then I wipe them on a baby wipe. And I do this every time I use it. I deep clean my brushes once a month, just because I don't have a lot of time. Oh no, that's bad. But the way I do it is I have a brush cleaner from Eco Tools. I also have a solid cleaner from Pretties From Your Face, and I will use that depending on which one I feel like using. And then I have one of those brush stands where you can put your brushes in them upside down, and then they drain out the water so they don't go into the handle. I can't remember what that thing is called, but right there. But that is how I do mine. How about you?
Most of the time when because you've seen, I got a video up there that I did the coloration with makeup, and I did have to use some brushes for that. I've got some other pieces that I did the same way, and pretty much every time I use the brush, I immediately clean it out after I'm done doing the artwork with it, because that's something that you kind of learn when you're using paint, is you don't leave the paint on the brush. You clean it immediately, or you no longer have a brush, you have a knife.
Yeah. Number 2, how do you organize your makeup collection? Well, I do what every other YouTuber does and use Alex drawers with acrylics inside of it. I also have like acrylics for lipsticks on the top, but basically it's all drawers. And I don't really like how it's organized right now. I need to go in and reorganize it. But now that I've done like all these declutter series, I'll be able to go in and reorganize it a little bit better with less stuff in it.
Ever since I was in college, my art supplies had to be on the go, especially when I started going to conventions and doing the artwork there. So I had to be able to take everything and put it into a backpack. And that makes these very handy, because I can just slip this and the paper and a little pencil case, a little fabric pencil case that I have, and I have all my art supplies there, and I'm done.
Number 3, do you put your makeup products away after you are done using them or leave them out for tomorrow? Alright, so this is where it gets a little weird. I basically put them away for the most part, except for the lip product that I'm using, which will go with me to work. I have on my desk like this little bundle of stuff that I'm trying out. So most of the time I will use it and put it back to remind me that I need to either try it out or do a video with it or something. So it's kind of there, so those are out. But for the most part, I have an everyday makeup drawer and I just put things back in there as I'm done.
Yeah, I tend to put things back, like especially when I'm talking about that pen case there. I like putting them back in a very specific order so it's easy for me to pull them right back out again when I need to.
Number 4 is loose or pressed powders, and if it's not already up, we do have a collection. Actually, it will be up by this point. I will link it below. We have a collection of powders and foundations. It kind of depends on what my desired outcome is. I prefer pressed powders because of the mess, but loose powders I am totally starting to fall in love with. I have 2 of my favorites. You'll have to watch that video in order to find out what it is, but I'll put that below.
If I'm going to be using any powdered makeup in the art, I prefer the loose. There might be fallout, but I can handle it, and typically I can deal with the fallout because I just blow it off the page.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Whatever hasn't adhered to the page just goes away.
Number 5, do you ever fall asleep without taking off your makeup? Okay, not really. Basically before I go to sleep, I wash my face and then I use a makeup wipe to get everything off, and then I use like a eyeshadow remover pad, and then I use micellar water for everything else. Yes, I take my makeup off, but the mascara that I use never wants to come off, and I haven't been able to find a mascara remover that doesn't burn my eyes. So when I wake up in the morning, yeah, the mascara is kind of still there, but not really. So yes and no. That's my answer.
I never can go to sleep without my art. Sometimes I have dreams about art, or dreams that can be turned into art, or just terror.
Scary.
Anyway.
Number 6, what makeup rules do you like to break? Are there makeup rules? Like, what kind of rules? I don't really understand the question, I guess. Because, especially being a beauty YouTuber, we just do what we want. We don't really I mean, the only real rule is you need to wash your brushes. I think. So, I don't know.
Same goes for art. If there is an art rule, it's been broken for the intent of breaking it.
Yeah, exactly. Number 7, will you use a product even if it is cracked or broken? So I guess I'm curious as to when it's cracked or broken. So for the most part, if I receive a new product in the mail or something and it's cracked or broken, I will contact the company and have them send me a new one. But I will use it like an eyeshadow or whatever. I can repress it. I'm not afraid of that. I will use stuff from other people, like in swaps and stuff. I'll sanitize it and it's fine. I'm not afraid of that. If it's something else that's broken, like a mascara or something like that, that's completely different. I won't use that. No.
Yeah, as long as it's usable, I can use most art stuff. I can typically find a reason or a way to use it. Like, a busted brush can be used for very fine lines, because you just take that little tiny tip and you dip it in the paint and you just go, now you have a fine line.
Exactly. Number 8, do you wait to pan a product completely before you replace it? No, I don't. I do want to reuse it like all the way through until I'm done and get my money's worth, but I don't necessarily do that all the time. That's what declutter is for. Because if I don't like a product, or if I am just like, I am not using this at all, I will give it away or I will sell it or whatever. But, yes, for the most part, I will try to use as much of the product as I can. I guess, yes.
When I'm using my Micron pens, most often I won't be able to finish using all of the ink inside of it because the tip will start feathering before I can. And so I'll start getting these little off lines and split lines, and I'm like, I can't keep doing it like that. No, I gotta get rid of this.
Yeah, I same with my Stapler pens. It's kind of sad. Number 9, how do you feel about sharing makeup? Well, I guess also this is a situational thing. If I'm sharing makeup with someone I know, I don't really care. If it's a swap, I don't really care. I'll just sanitize. But if it's somebody I don't know, or if it's like at a makeup counter or something where I can tell that they're not sanitizing their products, I don't really do it. No, I don't share. Back of the hand is okay, but on her face, no.
I don't tend to share too much. I mean, if she needs a pen, sure, have at. But
well, share the pens.
Yeah,
sure.
We share pens all the time.
Number 10, how do you feel about buying or trading used makeup? Again, I am okay with it because I know how to sanitize my stuff. So I'm fine with it. In fact, I think it's a great way to try out new things for less money. I personally sell my used and new stuff on my other Instagram, Zainey Laney Sells. I can put that down below for you. But I only do it like when I have a huge declutter, so there's not always a lot of stuff on there. I'm in a makeup swap group with a bunch of people that I know that we will swap out. It's a great way to really get your money's worth of your product and not have to spend a lot for it. And if you don't like it, no problem. You just swap it on out again. Awesome.
I don't have a problem with using used materials. When you have to think about what you're doing, literally anything works. You just have to use it creatively. So even if something is mostly gone, you can probably find a use for it. If you're smart, you can find a way to use even the empty container.
True.
Back when I was in college, one of the assignments, we had to just go around this surplus electronics store. That was all we could use for materials, and I built this box with a boatload of buttons and a piezo siren because this subject was tension, and I caused tension for everybody in the group. That was fun.
All right. Number 11, how often do you declutter your makeup? It tends to work out about every 6 months. I declutter, but lately I haven't been buying a huge amount of makeup. I've been really trying to get rid of the stuff I'm not using and then using the stuff I want and not buying new things unless I'm testing for the channel, or a palette just really calls to me and I can't help myself. But for the most part, every 6 months I think I declutter.
I don't declutter my makeup ever. I keep it all.
No, you don't. He's kind of a hoarder in a lot of ways when it comes to toiletry items. We're not talking about our items, but toiletry items.
Yeah.
He's kind of a hoarder. Like, he has a backstock of a lot of things that, like, he still hasn't used yet.
Yeah. As far as art supplies go, though, I tend to kind of hold on to them as much as I can until I can no longer use them, or until I notice that I haven't used them for years.
Yes. Number 12, do you use your fingers to apply your makeup? Oh yes, definitely. Especially if it's like a glitter shade on the lid or a creamy highlighter or some other product like that. I definitely use my fingers all over. But, you know, I like tools as well. Just, yeah.
Yeah, your finger makes a really great smear tool for graphite.
Yeah, it really does.
And charcoal.
If you guys are interested in seeing like more live draw with me's, comment below, let us know. Number 13, what products, if any, do you hoard in your purse, bag, backpack, etc.? Okay, so as far as beauty products go, it probably would be like sprays. I have a bunch of the sprays that we make for our company in my backpack. Probably also a couple lipsticks are in the bag, and that's probably it. I really don't hoard a lot of stuff in my bag that's beauty related. I just tend to not. I have a couple things in my drawer at work too that I use there, so I don't really need to hoard it.
Yeah.
He hoards pens in his bag. As you've seen,
Yeah.
3 packages of Tombos.
3 packages of Tombos and a pencil case with Micron pens and pencils.
Yes. Number 14, what is your least favorite step in your makeup routine? Probably false lashes. Sometimes, and I don't really wear them often. When I do wear them, it just makes me, it frustrates me, but I like the effect, which is why I do it when I do it. But I don't do it often because I just don't want the hassle, so definitely false lashes.
I hate erasing my pencil lines. There's a lot of them.
I could understand that.
It takes a long time.
Definitely understand that. Number 15, what is your worst makeup memory? I was trying to think about this, and I was actually having a hard time because I don't really have a lot of bad makeup memories. Okay, so let me, when I was in college, I was in a stage makeup class, and I took it twice. Once as a student, and then once as the teacher's TA. It was a great class, but you know, you do the same things over and over again. And I remember I was trying to do this like almost not prosthetic, but I was trying to make it look like I didn't have an eye on one side, and so I had to pack it with band-aids and gauze and didn't make it look like there was like a scar down the, it looked horrible. It looked like the band-aid was like peeling off. So, I mean, it's not really a bad like makeup memory, but it is probably the worst thing I ever had to do because I was like this for most of the time, and the class itself is 2 hours long for application purposes, and then you have to like present. So the class I had immediately after that was chamber singers. So I had to go from there, because it was also in the same building, which was fun. So I went from there to choir, and I was like, this half of my face looked fine, and then this half of my face was all janky because I had to take the stuff off, and I don't have time to like reapply the makeup after I presented, so it was bad. But I would like to leave on a positive note, and that is in the same class, my best makeup experience is that right around Halloween one year, we had to do like a trick-or-treating in our dorms at college, and our wing was the Wizard of Oz. So 4 of us decided we were going to dress up as the different characters from Wizard of Oz, and I had the Tin Man. Because I was in the stage makeup at the same time, I actually did like everything. I had like a plastic funnel with like tin foil, and everything was silver, and I actually had the hinged jaw and like a little pointy nose, so I did all of that. The entire makeup thing was just, it was really cool. And I guess it was like my best makeup experience because I felt like I really did something that was, you know, themed, and it was part of a whole big thing, and we actually could use it in something else. However, I had to go through the entire day again dressed like this, but people, they understood why it was when I went to all my classes. So if you can imagine me sitting there in chamber singers singing, looking like the Tin Man from the neck up, it was probably very hilarious to the choir director. But yes, so that is my worst and best makeup experience.
My worst art experience was in my 3-dimensional design class. He gave us a series of assignments where we had chosen an object right at the very beginning, and we had to do different forms of art. So the first one was like to actually replicate the object using paper. Mm-hmm. Then we had to kind of abstract it a little bit, and then we had to do another thing, and then we had to do a conceptual piece around all of that. And I was a complete moron and chose my laptop.
Oh, I remember this one.
Yeah, you remember this one, where I was almost driven to tears because of the insane level of detail that there is in a laptop. And I wanted to die. I got a terrible grade for something that I almost had a coronary for. In fact, it got to the point where she's like, Marshall, you're stopping. Come with me. We're going to go to the parks. You need to rest. You need to rest your brain and stop. Mm. So, really bad art memory, really great sister memory. Then, probably my best art memory that I have was then the same series, but the conceptual one. Where I had now, in the previous one, I had actually destroyed the laptop because I got a new one. And I took all the bits and pieces of the laptop and completely covered myself in it. And I did a performance piece where a person got too into the internet. And everybody thought that was, because afterwards I kind of flopped over in the class, and I just laid there curled up in a ball. So they thought the piece was over. And they started going on and reviewing me. Afterwards, they got into somebody else's piece. I got up and started berating every single one of them for going, you saw something was wrong and you did nothing. And I went up to the person who was supposed to be taking pictures, and I'm like, you're my friend. And you claim you're my friend, and you didn't do anything. And I had actually shoved somebody who got too close to me, and the teacher's like, give me a moment, I need to decompress now. I'm giving you an A. So it kind of made up for doing that other one.
So that was the makeup and art mess tag. Comment below, again, if you do this tag, or if you have done this tag, let us know below. Up here, we're going to put a nice little playlist of just various videos you might like. And if you're new to the Zainey family, make sure you subscribe right here, because you don't want to miss out, because we have a lot of really interesting stuff.
And ring the bell.
Ring the bell for those notifications. I always forget to say that, but do that. Mm-hmm. That way you'll be notified. And notification is half the battle.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.
Stay Zainey. Bye-bye.